Under the cloak of a moonless night, Tom Carver stood frozen, his boots sinking into the damp earth where his family's barn once stood. The air was heavy with the scent of splintered wood and betrayal. Beside the rubble, a forged notice from a supposed homeowners association fluttered in the breeze, its lies glaring under the faint glow of his flashlight. This wasn't just a barn. It was a legacy, woven with memories of his grandfather's calloused hands shaping beams, his father's lessons on mending fences, and his children's giggles echoing through hay-strewn summers. Who had the gall to destroy it? The answer would spark a fight that would shake the sleepy town of Pine Hollow to its core. Tom's heart sank as he surveyed the wreckage. The barn, a sturdy monument to generations of carvers, was gone, reduced to a scar on the land. Each plank had held a story, his daughter's first pony ride, his son's secret forts among the rafters. Now, it was a void, a wound that nature seemed to mourn with the rustle of autumn leaves. He'd been on a rare vacation, expecting to return to the comfort of home. Instead, he found this, a brazen act of destruction by impostors posing as HOA officers, wielding fake authority to tear down his heritage. Fury and helplessness churned within him, but beneath it, a spark of resolve ignited. This wasn't just about a barn. It was an assault on his family's soul, and Tom vowed to fight back. The next morning, mist clung to the ruins like a shroud. Tom paced the cleared plot, each splintered beam a silent witness to the laughter and labor it once housed. His neighbor, Clara, approached, her face etched with concern. "Tom, you won't believe what I heard," she whispered, glancing toward the pine woods as if the culprits lurked there. She revealed the truth. The men who demolished his barn were frauds, con artists masquerading as HOA officials to sow fear and extort compliance. They had no legal authority, only cunning and audacity. Tom's blood boiled. How dare they desecrate his land, his memories, under the guise of regulation? Clara's words lit a fuse in Pine Hollow. The news spread like wildfire, each household reeling from the revelation. Tom wasn't alone. Others had faced similar threats. At the hardware store, quiet old Ben shared his own story. Fake citations for non-existent violations, demands for cash to avoid demolition. The community, once fragmented, began to knit together, their outrage a shared pulse. Porch gatherings turned into strategy sessions, and town meetings buzzed with defiant voices. This wasn't just Tom's fight anymore. It was theirs. Driven by betrayal, Tom channeled his anger into action. A retired carpenter with a knack for problem-solving, he treated the wreckage like a puzzle, each piece a clue to the impostor's scheme. He went door to door, collecting stories that mirrored his own. Widow Margaret whispered of threats to her cottage. Young Miguel recounted veiled ultimatums over his garage. Each tale hardened Tom's resolve. These weren't just attacks on property. They were strikes against trust, fracturing the community's foundation. Tom's crusade gained a powerful ally in Lisa Grant, a local journalist with a reputation for fearless reporting. Over coffee at the town's diner, sunlight streaming through stained glass windows, they plotted their counterattack. Lisa's pen flew across her notepad as Tom recounted the deception, her eyes blazing with the same fire that burned in him. Their alliance sent ripples through Pine Hollow, a beacon of hope amid the chaos. Together, they gathered evidence with surgical precision, testimonies, forged documents, even grainy security footage of the impostors at work. The pile of proof grew, each piece a nail in the coffin of the fraudsters' empire. The culprits, revealed as Derek and Mason, were no distant villains. They were local opportunists, cloaking their greed in fake titles to extort honest residents. Their tactics were chilling: fabricated violations, threats of fines, and demands for cash to overlook infractions. Tom's evenings became a blur of documents and late-night calls with Lisa, piecing together a damning narrative. But Derek and Mason weren't blind to the growing resistance. One night, Tom found an envelope taped to his door. The words "Back off, Carver," or "You'll regret it," scrawled in jagged ink. The threat sent a chill down his spine, but it only steeled his resolve. Giving him would betray not just himself, but every neighbor who now looked to him for justice. The turning point came on a crisp Saturday morning in the town's community hall. Tom had called a meeting, and the pews filled with residents, their faces a mix of anger and hope. Standing at the lectern, his voice steady, Tom laid out the evidence. Photos of the barn's ruins, clips of Derek and Mason's late-night inspections, and notarized accounts of their extortion. The crowd's murmurs turned to gasps, then shouts of outrage. One by one, residents stood. Margaret, her voice trembling as she described her fear. Ben, his fists clenched as he recounted his humiliation. Their stories wove a tapestry of shared betrayal, but also strength. Tom called for a vote to submit their report to the county. The hall erupted in unanimous approval, a chorus of defiance. Lisa's exposé hit the local paper the next day, a searing blend of facts and fury that lit up Pine Hollow. Tom, meanwhile, marched to the county office, the weight of their report heavy in his hands. Clerk Emily Harris, her empathy evident, ensured the dossier reached the right hands. The evidence was undeniable: forged documents, misdemeanor crimes, a trail of victims. The county had no choice but to act. At an emergency council meeting, officials delivered their verdict. Derek and Mason were banned from operating in the county, their fraudulent scheme dismantled. The room exhaled as one, the tension giving way to guarded relief. The victory was cemented on a golden autumn day, as Pine Hollow gathered at the site of Tom's old barn. The community, tools in hand, began rebuilding, not just the structure, but their spirit. Laughter rang out as kids darted through the site, their joy a stark contrast to the fear that once gripped the town. Betty's pies fueled the workers, while Sam's carpentry skills guided the beams into place. Each nail driven was a declaration of resilience, each board a promise of renewal. Tom, moving through the crowd, felt a pride deeper than words. This wasn't just his triumph, it was theirs. As the new barn rose, larger and stronger than before, a plaque was unveiled, honoring the Carver legacy and the community's stand against injustice. Tom's heart swelled, not with arrogance, but with the quiet satisfaction of doing right by those he loved. The barn stood as a testament to their unity, a symbol that Pine Hollow would never again bend to deceit. Handshakes and smiles surrounded him, each one a thread in a tapestry of shared strength. The town, scarred but unbowed, had found its soul. In the end, Tom Carver didn't just reclaim his land. He gave Pine Hollow a future unburdened by fear. The barn, gleaming under the setting sun, was more than wood and nails. It was a monument to what a community could achieve when it stood together, unbroken and unafraid. What do you think of Tom's fight against injustice? Have you ever faced or witnessed something similar in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below, especially on the themes of standing up to bullies and reclaiming what's rightfully yours. Let's hear your stance and spark a conversation.